Independent client Homepro-Fraser, Homepro. This is a second measure with frame and a final design. I wanted to go over real quick. This will be one of 5 videos for this second measure. And I want to go over real quick while I got it in my head everything that we're talking about in the kitchen area. So first thing I want to show you is each one of these I brought to you. Actually, this is the front of the island. Of course, it's the island, so it doesn't have any place to hang it up. On the back of this, we actually have the electrical as well as the cabinet layout for the front. The island is 111 inches. First thing to show you here, we need to go with a 30-inch depth to this. We had originally thought 29 inches, but we had another thing come up with the doors of the refrigerator, so we're looking at 30 inches depth. So this cabinet will be 24. It'll have a 24 3/4 inch end panel, and it'll have about a 1 inch handle hanging out the front of it. So 30 inches, it's 6 extra inches. The front of this, I marked it with a piece of tape here, add 6 inches to depth on this one. Here, while we're on this side, take a look at the corner. This is actually 92.5 inches is how big the wall is. So I've got to come back and refine this. I had a 93.5, which was a frame measurement. So we got to make sure we refine that to 92.5, and there's some room in there to take that out. On this particular wall, I went ahead and pulled the oven wire back up. The oven for this particular one has a top-mounted conduit, so having the oven wire come out down low would be in the wrong spot. We need the oven wire here at about 66 inches coming out of the wall. On this particular wall, I marked before, there's a bar fridge here. We need an oven, a bar fridge outlet right there. I've got it marked on the side. If you take a look here on the drawing, that is 110 volt at 45 inches. That's your beverage refrigerator. Up here on the top, you got glass doors with a switched wire for the lighting in them. So here on the side of this, 114 inches lights and glass on the top are switched. We need wires for those. Here at 56 inches, 56 here, there, and then I believe there. Yes. So these are all going to be the outlet strips. The customer's wanting to use the hidden outlet strips underneath. The idea here is they don't want any plugs showing in this backsplash. So as far as that goes, no plugs. I put that in this note as well. But we are going to have a GFI 110 volt wire at 56 on these center lines. You see here and here, there, and there. And that's for all of the wiring for underneath. Now the cabinets, I actually ordered the cabinets to where they're going to have a recessed bottom in them. They're going to step up 3/4 of an inch so that the light fixture doesn't hang off the bottom of the cabinet. So 3/4 inch recess. Each one of these center lines is the center of that cabinet is what I'm showing there. The corner cabinet, I showed it twice. I showed it here and I showed it there. It'll only have one electrical plug strip in it, but I'm not sure, you talk to your electrician about how you wanting to run those wires. It may just need one for that one. So everything else here, I believe we're in good shape. Let's go to this wall. This wall is the cooktop wall in the kitchen. First thing we did not have before was the center line of the cooktop. I have that now. If you take a look right here on our drawing, 128.5 is the center line of our cooktop. That's a 220 volt. Check your amperage rating for that one. Here in the overhead, the upper cabinets are 84 inches long. We have glass lights and LEDs in the tops. So 57, 27, and 12 is the same center line as the plug lines on the bottom, but we do need wiring for the glass lights up there. 110 volt range hood wire. Mark right here. We're going to have a 110 volt range hood. It's probably going to be a custom built hood that's covered in metal, the same metal accent that the rest of the ring is, so we're probably going to be building that hood. No plugs in the granite backsplash. They want this to all be granite backsplash without any plugs in it. We do have a hanging build on site shelf. We have a hanging here and a hanging shelf there. So you're going to notice here that I've got blocking marked off on all of these. This is 2x6 blocking, but I need it in this direction. I need it sideways instead of flat. I need that where when we go to hang these shelves, I can put my cleat, I can do my cross matching, and all that will have plenty of support behind where we're having to hang these. This is a column, a 2-inch column, and we'll be tying that shelf to that one, but then again, need the blocking. Here's the same thing on the left, got blocking. This I think was at center line around 62 inches or so. Come over here on this side. Let's talk about this side. This is the pantry interior wall. On this one, we're going to be omitting this box. I put a little piece of styrofoam in it. We're going to be omitting that box. This box is okay. That box is okay. We need to add another box here where I've got it wrote on the stud. And then here again, I've got the shelving. There's going to be one shelf here. Okay, that shelf is at 82 to the top of the shelf, and this shelf is 62 to the top of the shelf. She wanted 20 inches between each of these items. So when we look at blocking, again, 2x6 blocking here. I'll need that all the way down. I've got it marked between each one. Sideways blocking here, frame blocking, 2x6, and then up here, same thing, 2x6 blocking, solid. Again, we've got to build a cleat and a hanging shelf, and I have to have solid blocking behind that for that to work. One other thing too is these shelves will actually have a dado cut in the bottom of them for a light to go into them. That's an undershelf light. So each one of these is going to have a wire pulled for the light to go inside of them. So if you take a look here at 60 inches, we need a wire for a light. And up here at 81 inches, we need a wire for a light. Now, if you want to do that in several places, you can do the same thing maybe at this end at 60 inches here and at 81 inches there. That way we have the light wires in two different places. Maybe that would be easier. Again, we've got to get with the designer for the cabinets and actually speak with Arlene about what light fixture that she wants to use underneath these shelves. This piece here, this upright piece, is a metal covered upright piece. It is going to match the hood. It's going to match some of the other places. We're going to go over those in a minute. But as far as that goes, this was the biggest thing. Leave 3 feet of wire hanging for any of these light wires that are coming out, and they need to be 14 gauge wires because they're just running LEDs. This is how we're planning on building the cleat on the finish. The finish will be a 3-inch flush. Then they'll have the top and bottom at a net 12. Then we cleat it on the wall, and we'll have arms that come out and actually set that piece over the top of it. So plenty of room to run wires inside of that box. Here's the pantry back wall. This particular back wall is 97.5. I need to go back and double check that too. I had 98.5, which was frame, so 97.5. As far as measurements go, this will be omitted. That's omitted. That one's omitted. We're going to get rid of all the boxes. Here we need a box blocked out to that measurement, which is 31 inches from the left. And we need another box at 67 inches from the left-hand side. And it's got to be real close. I think it's right here. Yeah, right here. Need a box on this side. And you can't because of the switches here, but you'll have to have it on this side of the stud for that same one. 67 inches. Top of these cabinets on all these are top alignment 114 inches. Again, we have the glass openings up here and light wires. So confirm what type of fixture that's going to be for that. But they do have 14 gauge wires we need at 114. So I think I put a note here, 114 glass wires. Now over here on this one, you've got your outlets in between the windows. That's perfect. There's no problem there. The water lines and stuff are perfect. That's no problem. Dishwasher is going to be to the right hand side. Take a look at some notes here. Basically, this is going to have a solid metal piece in the back of this. Again, it's an accent color piece that's being put in. This is getting a disposal for this one. Every sink in the house that's a major sink, kitchenette, sink, whatever, will have a disposal in it. And then as far as that goes, the wiring stuff should be just normal here. One of the things that's a major change for the refrigerator wall, let's take a look at it. On the refrigerator wall, you have 121 inches worth of cabinets. So literally with the trim and the size of the opening and the amount of space that we have to have for the door to open and close, and the fact that they want these to be double doors to look like the other double doors in the pantry, we have 121 inches worth of cabinets. They come to right there, okay? So we talked, this is gonna actually be a doorway with a sheetrock return or a wrap on it. So this, when we put our cabinets, you'll have about a 1-inch overhang of your countertop. You'll be really close to being right up to the end of this with the cabinet countertops. But again, this is a sheetrock wrapped doorway. It is not going to have a door in it. It swings in or out. It's just going to be a wrap so we can have our cabinets come 121 inches from the left. So that means that these switches that are here are going to have to move to the right-hand side of the door. All of the wiring is already done for them, but it looks like they, it should be easy to move those. This here is only 5 inches wide. Standard box over there is 6. Talked to the customer. He said he would be okay with above and below switches if they had to do 2 different ones instead of it being a 3 wide box like this. Putting a quad box here. So you could actually have a set of switches above and a set of switches below if you had to do that to get it to fit in that opening. But that's this pantry area here is part of the look they're wanting. It has some bifold doors on it, and so these are definitely going to be in the way for that to work. So let's talk about this refrigerator. Basically, this particular outlet here is going to have to be omitted. We do have 2 other outlets that need to be in place, 84 inches from the left, 108 from the left, GFI is there, 84 from the left for a microwave, 110 volt microwave. That one needs to be here. I went ahead and put it on the side, 28 inches off the floor. And then here, this is where the electrical is going to be for inside the pantry. And there's another one that's going to have to be right here inside the pantry. So this will be blocked over to make that outlet fit there. Again, 121 inches worth of cabinet, sheetrock wrap on a doorway, 3-way switches moved to the right-hand side, and then this left-hand wall, you've got your water box needs to be at 39 inches. So if you look here, water box needs to go right here. It looks like they had actually started drilling for that, so I think we're in good shape there. But then this is your plugs for your actual refrigerator and freezer. They can be in 2 separate places if you want, but this is too close to the end. It either needs to be moved here or it needs to be moved to this side of this plug so that we won't have any problems with them being able to be plugged up. The actual drawing from the factory shows this in a single box, a quad box with 2 20 amp single plug-ins in it, but it doesn't have to be that way. It can be 2 separate circuits if you'd like. Go back to the island again, this spacing. With a 111-inch island, you actually have 43 inches of walk space, 42 or so here, 43, 42 on that side. So perfectly centered. They wanted to make sure that the cooktop here is centered on the look of those doors over there and centered on the island with the sink. It is definitely centered. There's maybe a 1/4 inch difference, but in the room it will be centered. The only other thing about the island is to talk about the back side of the island. If you take a look on the back, there's going to be legs on the left and right hand side. So that is the alternative spot for the 110 volts if we're going to be putting, because this will have metal. This will be a metal piece across the back of the island. And so there'll be legs with electrical that goes in there. All right, this is the kitchen pantry area. If you have any questions, feel free to call me at 423-650-1051. Have a great day.